I'm the Chief Park Naturalist for Algonquin Provincial Park, and my role is to coordinate the educational programs in the park. So that includes everything from interpretive programs to publications to managing a wonderful visitor center and a logging museum and an art center. I think I have the most interesting job in the park and perhaps in the province. Well, I think Algonquin plays this important role for paddlers. I think it's probably safe to say that for many people in Ontario, their first wilderness-type experience in paddling probably happened in Algonquin Park. I think it's really important for everybody to really understand what it means when you go camping in Black Bear Country. And what I'm really trying to look at in this presentation is to look at the role of education and how important education plays in something like managing people's expectation when they're camping in the backcountry, but also how education can play such an important role in management, messaging, and how we actually manage a species like black bear. So the idea really there is that if you have a good understanding of why black bears do what they do, you have a better ability to be safe in black bear country.
I'm an immigrant from Slovakia, and I found a passion in canoeing here, especially in wild, unknown places. And I also found Lynette here, who does paddling in the wild, unknown places. So we go together on many rivers and lakes where not many other people go into. And this will be our story, how we crossed with other four friends from Hudson Bay to Ungava Bay in very northern Quebec.
My name is Jack Goring, and I started canoeing with a friend in 1941. That was when I was in school. Later, I met with Eric Morse, who started me on the Arctic canoe trips, one of which was down the Coppermine in 1966. Among the members of the crew, or the group, were Pierre Trudeau, who was assistant to Prime Minister Pearson at the time. This followed Franklin's route from Lac de Gras down to the town of Coppermine on the Arctic Ocean. The next time I was in that general area was in 1970, which was the centennial of the Northwest Territories, when our group started at Point Lake on the Coppermine River and went south to Yellowknife.
I was working as a camp counselor at just another camp, Gitchigumi. I used to teach kids to paddle canoes out in the water on those hot summer days. And over on the beach there was this girl counselor. Ooh, how I loved her, I could just count the ways. The way she looked in that hot, tight Speedo. Man, it'd make the sun grow dim. But she just stayed there on her beach, watching the little kids swim. So one morning I walked up to her, and I looked her straight in the eye. Stood real close and I said, "Hello." Make a grown man cry, because that's not what I had intended to say. That's not what I meant to say at all. Because what I had in mind went something like this, kind of a northern counselor's mating call. You wanna paddle with me, baby? You wanna move with me, baby? You wanna groove with me, baby? Into the night.
I'm Brian Johnson, and I am an avid paddler, a whitewater paddler, and a wilderness canoe tripper. And my heart is in on the barren lands in the Arctic, so I did a project that started a couple years ago when we had paddled across the Devont River and, of course, came upon Tyrell's famous boulder cairn. And it was decided among the group that we should make an effort to try to preserve the cairn notes, and that started us on a journey that I will speak about at the Wilderness Canoe Symposium.
And at first, you know what you're missing, though in time you tend...
Being with Connor Myhill, I'm a writer and a photographer from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. My passion is sharing the joys that I find in the outdoors with other people, and that might be through outdoor adventure, through paddling and skiing and winter camping and all the other things I like to do, and also through environmental activism as well. I think it's important as someone who likes to participate in the outdoors also to be willing to defend it as well. We did a neat trip. We started pretty much right at the end of the managed waterscape up there, so to speak, so right at the headwaters of the James Bay Project diversions, and we headed into wild water. So we headed north and northwest to the Great Whale River and kind of deked in and out of the Great Whale onto the Coates River, which is a lesser traveled river that we found to be very pleasant. Lots of nice runnable rapids and big falls and lakes and just wonderful scenery up there. Semi-open country, so the portaging was generally pretty good, although there weren't any trails. We didn't see very many signs of people passing before us. Just a great time to be out on the land for 30 days. You fall into a comfortable rhythm that anyone who's done a long trip would be familiar with, and I think something that I'm really enjoying and passionate about.
To share a most elusive prize and worth the journey there. And though you travel often, it is never quite the same. And though it often feels as if it's more than just a game.